Situation determines what weapons are most useful. Consider this when choosing which weapons to put on your person. Okay, Snake? Ah, you've got a directional microphone. The directional microphone is a high-performance listening device. When you equip it, you'll go into first-person view, where the microphone will pick up sounds in whichever direction it's facing. By pointing the microphone into the forest, you can sometimes hear the footsteps of enemy soldiers lurking beyond the trees. In jungle combat, success depends on how well you can sense the enemy's presence. Use it wisely. Press the first-person view button to switch to the first-person view. In first-person view, you can look at your surroundings through your own eyes. The overhead view's range is limited. If you plow ahead using only the overhead view, you put yourself in danger of running into an enemy without even realizing he was there. Make regular stops and check your surroundings with first-person view. Okay, Snake? I see you've got the survival knife equipped. The survival knife is a necessity in the field. Press the weapon button to swing the knife. Press it repeatedly to perform a combo attack. The knife lets you kill an enemy silently, so you should find it useful when the situation calls for stealth. In addition to fighting the enemy, you can also use the knife to capture wild animals. That one knife can provide you with everything you need to survive in the field. Use it well. The first-person view attack is a fundamental part of gunfighting. It allows you to aim in directions impossible to hit with the overhead view, like shooting enemies that are above or below you. It also makes it possible to aim for your enemy's weak points. When you need to take an enemy out in one shot, use a first-person view attack and aim for the head. The sooner you find the enemy, the better you'll be able to deal with the situation. So be sure to make use of sensors like the motion detector and active sonar.
To take a rest, all you have to do is save and exit the game. The next time you load your saved data and continue the game, your stamina and life will have recovered. How much they recover depends on how long of a rest you take.
So the longer I rest, the more I'll recover.
That's right. If you're so exhausted that you don't even have the strength to find food, save the game and take a rest and you'll be back on your feet.
I hope that never happens.
So do I. But you never know. Just don't forget, okay?
I won't.
Snake, that area is inhabited by the giant anaconda. The giant anaconda is believed to be the largest snake in the world in terms of weight and diameter. It's not poisonous, but its large size makes it extremely powerful. They say it even eats crocodiles. Its only natural predator is man.
And snake.
And snake. The giant anaconda is a very large snake, but you should be able to capture it alive using the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So how does it taste?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Glad I didn't disappoint you. So?
Well, the guide says it tastes all right.
Good. I'll have to try some.
Ugh. To eat food, press the Start button to enter the survival viewer, then select Food. Select the food you want to eat and press the Enter button. Select Eat, and you will eat the selected food. When you eat, you will recover your stamina, but the extent of recovery depends on what you eat. When your stamina is down only slightly, you should save your tastier morsels for later. But don't leave food for too long or it'll rot. This is where a little planning ahead goes a long way. Snake, that area should be inhabited by tree frogs. The tree frog is a green frog that's found throughout Asia. It's arboreal, spending most of its time in shrubs and bushes. Use the tranquilizer gun to catch one alive. I bet you could scare an enemy good if you toss one at him. But the tree frogs that live in that jungle are a lot bigger than ordinary tree frogs.
They've got an appetite, huh?
You've got a one-track mind, don't you? But seriously, that is one theory. However, there are people who think it's a mutation caused by nuclear testing and waste from the research facility.
Do you think they're safe to eat?
Is that all you ever think about?
What else is there?
Lots.
Like what?
Like why a frog would get so big in the first place. Whether it's a temporary phenomenon created by a unique environment, or a permanent mark of evolution, or a product of the toxic waste coming out of the research facility. If it is the waste that's causing it, then it means humans are interfering with the ecosystem. It really makes you think about the changing relationship between...
This isn't interesting.
Oh, fine. Be that way.
So, how about it?
You mean, is it edible?
Yeah,
Well, I guess it's probably okay.
probably.
I don't know. The guide doesn't say anything.
Pretty useless guide, if you ask me.
Well, try one for dinner and you can help improve it.
Sokolov should be at the abandoned factory to the north, so head in that direction. Snake, I recommend against leaving the bodies of your victims lying around. If the enemy spots a fallen comrade, they'll realize that they've been infiltrated and strengthen their guard. When you kill an enemy, hide the body in the grass or at some other location where it won't be spotted. Stand near a fallen enemy and press the weapon button with no weapon equipped to grab the body. Hold the weapon button and move to drag the body. Release the weapon button to put the body down. Snake, remember that this operation is a solo sneaking mission. We'll be providing you with support over the radio, but out in the field, you're on your own. There's no backup. And there's no way you'll survive a battle with a large enemy contingent. Avoid engagement whenever possible. Your highest priority in this mission is staying out of sight.
Saving the game, Snake? Okay, good luck, Snake.
Thanks.
I see you found yourself an RGD-5. RGD stands for Rochnaya Granata Degtyaryeva in Russian. It basically means hand grenade of the Degtyaryov design. It's the standard issue blast fragmentation grenade of the Soviet Army.
It's lighter than the M26.
And it carries fewer explosives as well. But I'd say it's more or less equal to an M26 in terms of performance. Be careful, though. The safety pin ring is on the opposite side. You'll be fine as long as you keep the safety lever pressed down with your finger.
I'll keep that in mind.
Blast fragmentation grenades use a combination of blast and shrapnel to kill their targets. This makes them effective against standing targets, but significantly less effective against targets lying on the ground. Remember that. That's certainly a strange-looking grenade you've got there.
Yeah, I've never seen one like this. What is it?
It must be a new type of grenade developed by the Russians. From what I can tell, it's a non-lethal weapon that uses a flash of light and intense sound to overpower the senses of human targets. You can probably use that grenade to knock out the enemy without killing them. It might prove useful. When you aim your handgun in first-person view, align the front sight and the rear sight of the gun with the target, then fire.
No laser sight?
What?
A laser sight. I heard the military was developing them, but...
You want a laser sight?
Uh-huh.
A well-trained soldier has no use for a laser sight. No training wheels on this mission, Snake. I see you've got a smoke grenade. The smoke grenade does exactly what the name implies. It creates a thick dispersion-resistant cloud of white smoke that blocks the enemy's field of vision. It should be useful when you need to make a quick getaway. Keep it in mind. I see you're using binoculars. The ones you've got are a high-performance military model equipped with a zoom function.
Yeah, they give me a flat image across the entire viewing range.
They're completely waterproof and highly shock and flame resistant. You won't need to worry about them breaking. Scouting is key during a sneaking mission. If you can determine enemy positions and the lay of the land from a distance, it'll make your job that much easier. Use them wisely. For the assault rifle and certain other weapons, pressing the weapon button will first ready the gun for shooting from the hip. If you're in a close quarters fight or other situation that requires immediate action, fire from that position. Observe where your shots are hitting and correct your aim accordingly.
I understand, but that doesn't sound too accurate.
Of course not. So when you require pinpoint targeting, like when firing from afar or sniping, hold the aim button to aim. Carefully align your front and rear sights to concentrate fire and gain a sharper view on your target. Stalking is a movement technique that eliminates even the sound of your footsteps. Stalking involves putting your weight on your rear foot, then stepping forward slowly with your front foot. Before putting down the front foot, use the tip of your foot to check for dangerous objects or branches that might create a noise when stepped upon. Once you've determined the spot is safe to step on, slowly lower your foot to the ground, placing it down from the outside edge first, and then slowly lowering your weight onto the foot. Throughout the entire process, you have to strain your calves to retain balance. But all you need to do is press the directional button in the direction you wish to move. When stalking, you can move without creating sound with your footsteps. And since your posture is low while stalking, you are that much less likely to be spotted by the enemy. Since you move cautiously while stalking, you will be able to detect a trap on the ground before it is set off. However, the slow, concentrated movement while stalking consumes high amounts of stamina. Switch between walking and running with the left stick and stalking with the directional buttons depending on the situation. In the jungle, it's absolutely crucial to keep your position secret from the enemy. Sometimes even the smallest sound can be enough to give your position away and get you killed. You'll have to make sure your weapons and equipment don't make noise bumping around. Use tape to secure metal objects and other items that seem likely to produce noise. After you've secured your gear, jump up and down to see whether it makes a sound.
Don't worry, I remember the drill.
You have some life medicine on you. Life medicine is a recent pharmaceutical product developed by the Soviet Union. It works with your metabolism to quickly treat wounds. If you use it, you can recover life on the spot. Try it when your life is starting to run low in battle.
hear something. There's nothing here.
Select Map in the Survival Viewer to view a map of the area you're currently in. It shows your present location and the places you've been to. In addition, if you acquire information from enemies, the map may also display enemy unit positions and the location of items. To get information from an enemy, grab him from behind using CQC and press the left stick. To succeed in any mission, knowing how to put information about the zone of operation to effective use will be essential. Map will serve you well. It's going to be tough to cross over that suspension bridge without being seen by the enemy. You'll have to figure out some way to get rid of the sentries first. You said it's a suspension bridge, right?
Yeah,
Supported by rope?
that's right.
If you cut the rope, the suspension bridge should sway quite a bit. You may be able to shake the enemies off the bridge. Your weapons aren't the only way to take out enemies. Use your head. Use a first-person view attack to hit enemies from afar, but be warned, if you don't take them out in one hit, your cover will be blown. When attacking from afar, it's crucial that you hit a vital spot dead on. To lure an enemy to you, deliberately make a noise or throw food at him to get his attention. Use a first-person view attack to hit enemies from afar, but be warned, if you don't take them out in one hit, your cover will be blown. When attacking from afar, it's...
That guy? No, he's close. HQ, respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We're under enemy fire. Enemy's position is unknown. Going into alert formation.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Please don't! Who's that? Huh? Who's that? What's wrong? Who's that?
This is HQ. Acknowledged. Eliminate all enemies.
I see you're wearing the tiger stripe camouflage. The tiger stripe pattern has been in use since 1959 among the South Vietnamese Marine Corps. But the pattern originated with the French. It's said that it developed out of the brushstroke pattern, also known as lizard camouflage. It provides some cover in trees and grass, but it's especially effective in earth and mud environments. You should find it useful when you're concealing yourself by crawling on the ground. The weapon you're equipped with now is called the XM16E1. It's a new type of rifle currently being developed by the U.S. Army.
If it's still in development, then what's it doing here?
My guess is they captured it when it was being battle-tested in Southeast Asia. But the one you've got there is quite a bit different from the ones I've been hearing about. For one thing, it's camo-painted, and it's fitted with a 3-shot burst mechanism. It even looks like you could attach a suppressor. All of these modifications are geared towards jungle combat. This doesn't look like the work of the Soviets. My guess is they were added on site by an American gunsmith during Army field trials. Open the weapon window and press the Enter button to attach or remove the suppressor. Press the Action button to switch between semi-auto, full auto, and 3-shot burst modes. Make use of each of these functions as the situation warrants. Keep in mind that your weapons and equipment each have their own weight. Storing a heavy item on your person will cause your stamina to drain more quickly. If you're getting tired or want to conserve your stamina, it's a good idea to put any items you're not going to use back into your backpack. There is one weapon greater than any other in battle. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What?
Do we have to go through this again?
Yes,
Will. An unflinching will to survive no matter what.
exactly. The will to carry out your mission and return home alive will see you through even the most desperate of situations. It's the most potent weapon in your arsenal. Don't forget that, no matter what. Treetops, bushes, hollow logs. There are plenty of places in nature you can use to hide yourself. Search each area carefully in first-person view. Use nature to its fullest extent. You'll thank me later. If you want to survive in the jungle, you're going to need to hone all of your senses. An unnatural movement in the undergrowth, a tiny shadow peeking out through the trees in the distance. Always keep an eye out for any signs of the enemy's presence. Your sense of hearing is equally important. Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you've got to learn to pick up the enemy's presence from the sounds you hear around you. Always be listening for that one snap of a twig among the chirping of the birds and the babbling of the brooks. Your sense of smell is also important. Body odor, sweat, gunpowder, food. These faint smells wafting in the wind will tell you where the enemy...
No.
No?
I can't smell.
You? What now?
I can't smell.
Not at all.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
Not a thing.
Oh. Well then, you'll just have to trust in your instincts as a gamer.
Come in, HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost the enemy. Enter high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Ah, disgusting.
If you rapid-fire the assault rifle, the recoil of the gun will cause your shots to stray from their intended targets. Firing from a crouched position or while lying on your stomach will stabilize the recoil and keep your hits more consistent. Even while hanging, you can fire your handgun with one arm. And if you're attacked during a hanging maneuver, don't panic and claim the advantage. Equipment captured in the field often needs to be fixed or have its parts replaced before it can be used. But you won't need to worry about that in this mission.
Why's that?
Because your adversaries are highly trained professionals. They'll no doubt have made sure their reserve gear is in working condition.
So in other words, I can use the stuff I pick up right away?
Right. One more thing. When you pick up a new item, don't forget to read its description in the window. You said the enemy is equipped with AK-47s, didn't you? The AK-47 is the official assault rifle of the Soviet Army. It's employed not only by the Soviets, but throughout the entire Eastern Bloc. It uses 7.62 millimeter by 39 ammunitions, with a magazine capacity of 30 rounds. The AK is reliable, precise, powerful, and easy to handle. In short, one of the best assault rifles there is. Don't even think about getting into a one-man firefight against an enemy unit equipped with AKs. Avoid battle as much as possible. Are we clear? You mentioned the enemy was also carrying grenades, correct? Those grenades are RGD-5s, the standard blast fragmentation grenade of the Soviet Army. You can protect yourself from a large part of the blast and shrapnel from a grenade by lying flat on the ground. If someone throws a grenade at you and you sense that you can't get away in time, get into a crawl position. It should reduce the damage to a minimum. When you see an enemy, the first thing to do is conceal yourself and watch what he's doing. If you make any sudden moves, your camo index will decrease, and there's a good chance the enemy will catch sight of you. And don't start to panic just because an enemy is acting like he knows you're there. It doesn't necessarily mean he's figured out exactly where you are. As long as you hide someplace like the bushes and stay perfectly still, you'll usually come out all right. Stay calm, keep a grip on the situation, and use clear judgment. Got it?
I see you found a Yabloko Moloko.
Diablo, what now?
Yabloko Moloko. It's a Russian name that roughly translates as milk apple. It's a type of star apple. The juice is thick and sweet, like milk, hence the name. And if you cut one in half lengthwise, you'll see a star-shaped ring radiating out from the center.
Hence the star apple.
Right. The star-shaped part has a gelatinous texture and is said to be especially tasty.
Sounds useful.
You're welcome.
For once.
Did you say something?
No, back to the mission. Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. And do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Snake, those drums are filled with fuel. That'll prove to be useful.
What do you mean?
Think about it. Shoot a bullet at a drum full of flammable fuel and,
Gotcha.
if you blow up those drums full of fuel, the explosion should take care of any enemies in a fairly wide radius. Just make sure you don't get caught up in the blast yourself. Snake, Sokolov is imprisoned in the northeast area of the factory.
Got it. To the northeast.
Yes, and don't engage the enemy. The object of this mission is to bring Sokolov back safely and nothing more. Contact Sokolov without being spotted by the enemy and bring him out discreetly. If you must dispose of an enemy, do it with the tranquilizer gun. Snake, as I said before, this mission is only to bring Sokolov back safely. You must not put Sokolov in danger. You're not allowed to contact him during the alert phase. Period. Snake, when your stamina gets low, it negatively affects your physical abilities. You've got to replenish your stamina before it runs out.
The gauge below your life gauge is your stamina gauge. It shows, as the name suggests, your remaining stamina. As you consume stamina, your natural life regeneration is slowed and your hands shake more. Your O2 gauge and grip gauge also become shorter. Excessively low stamina can often impede your mission objectives. Make sure you replenish stamina before that occurs. Eat food to recover stamina. Capture plants and animals to get food. I have information on the local plants and animals.
Your actions can lower your stamina. The more demanding the activity, the more stamina consumed.
Exactly. Walking slowly will conserve stamina, while actions like rolling, crawling, and stalking consume large amounts of it. Try your best to avoid unnecessary actions in order to conserve stamina.
Snake, use the survival viewer to pick your camouflage, treat wounds, and eat food. Ask the boss or paramedic about the details.
Major,
What is it?
it's about your code name.
Major Tom?
Yeah, where'd you get that name?
From a tunnel.
A tunnel?
That's right. Snake, have you seen the movie The Great Escape?
No.
It's a movie about a determined group of Allied POWs trapped in a German POW camp who plan an escape. The POWs dig 3 tunnels for their escape. They named them Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I see. So Tom was an escape tunnel. Did they make it?
Out of the camp? Of course. One of the tunnels was even discovered before it was finished, but eventually they do make it out.
I get it now. So Tom was the tunnel they used to escape.
Yes, that's right.
What is it?
Well, actually, I'm not sure if I remember correctly.
Major.
Oh, it's all right. It's Tom, Snake. Tom is the escape tunnel. Yes, no question about it.
When you get hurt, your body will heal itself naturally over time. However, the speed at which your life recovers depends on how much stamina you have at the time. The more stamina you have, the faster you'll recover. So if you want your wounds to heal quickly, you should eat something and replenish your stamina first. That area is home to the Sunda whistling thrush. The Sunda whistling thrush is a bird native to Java and Sumatra. It's distinguished by its large blue body and long beak. It really stands out in the forest. If you're aiming to catch one alive, use the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So,
How does it taste?
yeah,
I don't know.
you don't know.
The guide doesn't say. I guess there's no reason you couldn't eat them.
Oh, I see.
But it's nice and plump, so I'm sure it'd make a hearty meal.
That's a good point. Paramedic.
What's up?
Are you a medic or a doctor?
I'm a well-respected physician, or I was until I joined the CIA.
How is your reputation?
My what?
Your reputation.
Oh, that.
How was it?
Why? Don't you trust me?
That's not what I meant.
Fine then.
Uh-huh. So,
So what?
your reputation, how was it?
My, you're relentless.
Hey, I'm a snake. So,
My reputation was spotless. I'm highly skilled, patient, and good-looking to boot. Everybody wanted to see me. What else would you expect? No, seriously.
Incidentally, her nickname back then was Quack.
Major.
is that true?
Is what true?
About your nickname.
No. Well, maybe a few people did call me that.
So you were a quack.
No. Well, yes and no. I mean, in a sense I was, but then again I wasn't.
Snake, her skills as a doctor are beyond reproach. You have my word on that.
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say, Snake.
Then why did they call her quack?
It's because she...
Never mind that. It doesn't matter. We've got a job to do and we have to stay focused. Besides, my past doesn't have anything to do with the mission and...
Because she never shuts up.
Yes, that's it.
No, that's not it. Snake, tell him that's not true. Say something.
I'd better get back to the mission.
Yes, you do that.
Just a minute. Snake, don't you hang up on me.
What's wrong? Who's that? What happened?
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements.
Major, I'm in front of Sokolov's cell, but the door won't open.
Hold on, Snake. What's the current condition?
Condition?
Yeah, what phase is it now?
Alert.
Exactly. I already said you can't contact Sokolov during battle. Don't you listen to people when they're talking? Well, anyway, the reason that door won't open is probably because Sokolov is blocking it himself. He's scared, and no wonder. In order to break Sokolov out of there, you'll need his cooperation as well. So stop scaring him. Contact Sokolov later after you've disengaged the enemy. Once things have stabilized, try it again. Got it?
HQ, please respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the intruder. Going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss. Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Huh? Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov, too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgin.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgin's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you. Snake, stay alert. The KGB and GRU both have their sights set on Sokolov. GRU is a military espionage outfit, the intelligence wing of the Soviet Defense Ministry's General Staff Office. It competes with the KGB, which is under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the two are always watching each other.
Never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Exactly. Now, added to that rivalry, there's a vicious power struggle going on between the Khrushchev faction and the anti-Khrushchev faction.
So Khrushchev is using the KGB, and Volgin and the anti-Khrushchev forces are using the GRU?
That's the idea. The two factions are fighting over Sokolov. We're in an extremely dangerous situation here.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Get Sokolov out of there safely. He must not be turned over to the KGB or to the GRU. Sokolov took off in the direction of the rope bridge. Get after him. Hurry!
Major, have you been able to contact the boss?
No.
You really think it's bad reception?
We're looking into it.
Major.
Snake, you've got more important things to worry about than contacting the boss. Right now, Sokolov is out there wandering around the jungle alone. What are you going to do if he gets caught by the enemy? We're still looking into why we lost contact with the boss. I'll let you know as soon as we find anything out. In the meantime, it's your job to find Sokolov and get him to safety. Got it? Snake, making it harder for the enemy to spot you isn't the only advantage to maintaining a high camo index. The harder you are to distinguish from your surroundings, the harder you are to hit. In other words, the enemy's shots will miss more often. Do everything you can to keep your camo index high at all times. If you blow up those drums full of fuel, the explosion should take care of any enemies in a fairly wide radius. Just make sure you don't get caught up in the blast yourself. We're still looking into why we lost contact with the boss. I'll let you know as soon as we find anything out. In the meantime, it's your job to find Sokolov and get him to safety. Got it?
Snake, there are rats living in that area. The rats in that area are the descendants of wild Norway rats that were domesticated by humans as pets and lab animals. They're not poisonous, and I don't think they'll attack you, but they're quick little creatures, so you might have a hard time catching one.
Uh-huh. So how do they taste?
Snake,
What?
they're rats.
I know what they are. Do they taste okay?
The guide says they're not that bad.
Good enough.